Hello everyone, this is Jokesta. In this video, we will be talking about Gyroscope. What is Gyroscope, you may be asking yourself? Well, it's pretty straightforward. Instead of turning to the left or right in the game, you can just tilt your device left or right. Most of the players I've known, they have so many problems with Gyroscope and they're really confused and frustrated. They give up and they just stick to normal controls. Well, this is where I come in and tell you guys all about it. I will get into the deep dives of Gyroscope. What I will cover in this video is how to use Gyroscope, how to adapt to it, what are some of the best settings, and tips and tricks. If this sounds like something you might be interested in, then this video is for you. But before we actually get started, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid is a turn-based RPG done right. In case you guys have been living under a rock for the last couple months, Raid is the sensation of the mobile world, the RPG that changes everything. The game is crazy popular, almost 15 million downloads in the last 6 months. So what is Raid? It is an epic dark fantasy done right. A hero collection turn-based game with over 400 champions for you to collect and personally customize. You guys can explore over 1 million champion builds, discover 13 spectacular locations, enjoy a fully voiced story campaign. One of the cool parts is you can actually raid with your friends in a clan. You guys can claim glory in a PvP arena. And the best part, it's free to play. Some extra cool features in this game are multi-battle auto mode. Set battle to run in auto mode while you do something else. Spend less time grinding and more time developing your team and fighting the fun stuff. And the coolest part is they have weekly tournaments and events. Fighting in the arena, running special dungeons, or just leveling up your heroes. There's always a way to compete and win extra prizes every week. And the game is growing super fast. Check out this cool roadmap that they have published. They actually have huge plans for the updates in the game for over 6 months. So there's infinity content for you to enjoy and no time to get bored. A new faction, a tag team arena feature, and even a new clan boss you will be able to fight with your clanmates. You can find me in the game under the username Jokesta YouTube. And if you're quick enough, you can also join my clan before anybody else does. So what are you waiting for? Go in the video description, click on the special link, and you guys get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as a part of the new player program to start your journey. Good luck, and I'll see you there. So let's talk about how to use Gyroscope. So if you go to your settings, click on basic and scroll down all the way to Gyroscope. Now you have it probably turned off and you're probably wondering, what does while ADS mean and on button? So we're gonna go ahead and cover both of those right now. So on means it's always on when you control your device as you're running across the map, or if you're aiming down sight, it will always be on. But while ADS means your gyroscope would be activated when you're aiming down sight. Now, I don't recommend this. A lot of players have tried this and they get really confused, and then once they turn it off, they can't really get back their aim, and it messes up so much for a lot of pro players. So this is one of the big reasons why I don't recommend you guys to use while ADS. All right, once you have that turned on, you probably start going into a game and trying it out for yourself. It's a little trippy, and a lot of people do this a lot. They actually turn it on and they start walking around with the gyroscope on. It's super confusing. It gives me a headache, and I'm pretty sure it's giving you guys a headache right now. It's just so annoying, and it's not good for you guys at all, so don't do this at all. All right, so let's just stick with moving it like this: left and right, left and right. This is all you have to get used to, left and right. And also you have to get used to going up and down. It's super simple. Don't go around like running around, you know, just trying to get it all correct. No, it's super simple. It's just keep it steady in your hands, move it left and right. All right, now the second part of this video that we're gonna be talking about is how to adapt to your gyroscope. Now this is just all depends on your settings. So if you have a really high settings and you're just like spinning around in circles just by moving a little bit, it means you have really high sensitivity. You have to drop down your gyroscope completely to maybe 50% or even lower. And if it's too slow for you, make sure you bump it up 10%, each 10%. Now this is my settings that I have right here. If you guys are watching, you guys could try it out, give it a shot. And if it's a little bit too slow, start bumping it up by 10%, each settings by 10%, and start trying to adapt to it. It's gonna take a while. It took me a solid week to get used to it. Now for the iPad, I got used to it in a couple days, but on the phone, it took me at least a week to get used to. This kind of is difficult, so it just takes a while to get used to it. And once you kind of start to adapt to it, you kind of start to feel the settings with it. And this is super important. Just try to mess with your setting as much as possible. Change your settings now so you don't have to adjust it in the future when you completely master your aim and then you decide to switch it up a little bit. Now, I recommend slow settings instead of high settings because slow settings you can actually hit your shots pretty quick and easy, but high settings are harder, but the recoil control is super easy. So I definitely recommend sticking with slow. Now let's move on to the next step. The next step of this video, we're gonna be talking about what are the best settings I recommend. Now this is the first one that I personally use. I love the settings. You guys should definitely check it out. The second setting that I recommend is this one. It's a little fast, it's a little slow, it's kind of in the middle. This is the setting that actually kind of made me like Gyroscope. And once I started using this, I started to adapt to the way I like it, and I dropped all this. As you guys can see, my first setting, that's the one that I'm using right now. As you can see that I went from 50, 50, 50, 50, and I started to drop little by little by little the more I played. So this is what I kind of recommend you guys start off, just slowly, you know, have the top one all the way to the right, you know, like bump it up, just mess around as much as you can as of right now. And then once you start to adapt to it, start building the different type of settings. Once you start to get used to what you like, stick to it. Don't try to change it in the future, just stick to whatever you're using. The more you play, the better. And if it's a little too off, add and subtract 10%. So for example, if it's too high, lower it a little bit down by 10% on each one of these settings. If it's too slow, then bump it up a little by 10% each of these settings. Simple as that. Keep it simple. Don't change too much. A lot of people change it consistently and it screws up so much for them. So stick with something really slow and then bump it up a little by little once you start getting used to it. Is Gyroscope actually worth it? Yes, absolutely. The second question that people ask is Gyroscope easy to control your recoil control? Yes, absolutely. You guys can destroy anybody with Gyroscope because it's super easy to control your recoil. You get insta kills just like that. And number 3, the very final one is, should you aim with your thumbs while using Gyroscope, or do you use Gyroscope to aim and then sometimes your thumbs? That kind of comment I get is a lot. I get those comments, and this is a really tricky topic to talk about, so I'm going to try to explain as best as I can. So when you start using Gyroscope, I use my thumbs to go left and right, and then once I find someone, I start to engage, and that's when my Gyroscope comes in handy. It helps me to control the recoil and set position of my aim. So you know, I can aim really well with my thumb, right and left, wherever I can go, right? But with Gyroscope, it's a lot easier to actually control your aim where you want it to be pointed at and start controlling your recoil once you start shooting. So that's where I kind of go off on. Like, yes, using your thumbs and controlling your Gyroscope is really good. So this is how I'm going to explain it. So when you walk around, you can use your thumbs to look left and right. And then if you need to look a little further, you use Gyroscope to help you move to the right. And you use it to move to the left, right? So that's only if you can't reach some spots. And that's where I'm talking about. So once you do that, you get used to it, it will come to the point where you're gonna find someone, and once you find someone, you start using Gyroscope to help you get into that position of aiming. And then once you get into that position, you start shooting and using your Gyroscope to help you kill that enemy or whatever you're shooting at. And with Gyroscope, it helps you control your recoil so much that it feels like, you know, it's just supposed to be there. It's like super, like with no recoil or anything like that. Anyways, I hope I answered all your questions, and I hope this video actually helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Make sure to check out Raid Shadow Legends in the description down below. Check it out, add me there, and I'll see you guys there. Peace out.